Hello horror fans, how are you all? So today I am going to explain an Indonesian horror movie which is based on a true incident, and these events have really happened. In fact, they still happen even today. The name of this movie is Pengantin Iblis, which means Demon's Bride, and its ending is really dangerous. Meaning this one has a very horrifying, dangerous, gruesome ending, and I hope you all will give a lot of love to this video. So, without any delay, let's directly move towards the video. The story begins with a text, where we are told about a ritual. It says that a lady marries the devil, and in return, the devil gives her wealth and health. And this ritual still happens even today in society. And today's story is based on one such true incident. However, the location and names shown here are fictional. Anyway, after this we see a ritual scene, which was being performed by a shaman. This ritual was being performed on a lady named Ranti. Now, during this ritual, the shaman bathes Ranti with blood and fed her a piece of meat. After the ritual ends, Ranti was on her bed. And then suddenly, a very terrifying demon comes to Ranti, and the scene cuts right there. Now, after this, the scene goes a few days back, where we see Ranti herself, who was going with her sister-in-law Siti and her husband's sister Gita to her meat shop. Now, talking about Ranti's family, the family has a total of 7 members. Ranti's husband is Bowo, and their daughter Nina, who has a bit of a problem. Her legs don't work, and she cannot walk. Bowo's younger brother's name is Bayu, and his wife's name is Siti, and their mother also lives with them. Anyway, Ranti then goes to her meat shop, and here we see that Siti is pregnant. Siti doesn't like Ranti at all, because Ranti makes her work, and because of this she gets quite irritated with her. Now, after working, they come back home, but breakfast wasn't prepared at home. And for this also, everyone blames Ranti, because according to them, since she is the elder one, before going out she should have prepared breakfast. Anyway, now Nina leaves for school. Today Gita was going to drop her at school, and at that moment Ranti's mother-in-law comes there, and she gets very angry. She says that it should have been Ranti who drops Nina at school, but Ranti had to go for a meat delivery, and Bowo, he was also leaving, for 1 whole month, because actually, he is a sailor. That's why Ranti had to go to drop Bowo at his ship as well. But right then, Ranti's mother-in-law starts taunting her again, and because of this Ranti feels really bad. After this, Bowo starts to leave. Now, what happens is that since Siti's delivery date was also close, Bowo had given some money to his brother Bayu, and Bayu didn't actually do any work. He even gave some money to his mother as well. After this, Bowo and Ranti start leaving in the car, and here Ranti talks to her husband about all this, that her mother-in-law keeps taunting her again and again, even when it isn't her fault at all. Now Ranti wants that they should live separately, but Bowo says that this would be a bad thing, as if they stay together, then many things will remain fine. Like if Ranti goes somewhere outside, then at least someone at home can take care of Nina. Then Ranti says, if someone scolds her without any reason, then will he defend her? On this Bowo says yes, he surely will. After this, we see Bayu, who had put the money given by Bowo into cockfighting. After this, Ranti comes home where she sees her mother-in-law crying. She goes near her and asks what has happened. Then her mother-in-law gives her a very sad news, that Nina has had an accident. Hearing this, she immediately runs to the hospital. There she meets Gita, who tells her that Nina's accident happened with a car. Now, on asking the doctor, she comes to know that Nina's condition is very critical, and her chances of survival are very less. They have to start treatment as soon as possible. Hearing all this, Ranti starts crying a lot. At night, she was sitting alone, when suddenly an old lady comes and gives her food to eat. Here that lady tells her that her daughter will soon get better. Then Ranti shockingly asks her, how does she know that her daughter is in the hospital? On this, the lady says that she heard about it. That lady then tells her that there is a way to cure her daughter. Saying this much, the old woman leaves a piece of paper with Ranti and goes away. Meanwhile, Gita also arrives there, and she asks Ranti about that lady, but Ranti doesn't tell her anything. Now the scene shifts to the next day, where the doctor tells Ranti that they will urgently have to do Nina's brain surgery, and with that, Nina's chances of survival can increase a little. Now, when she talks about this at home, for the surgery they needed 10 million Indonesian money, but their condition was very bad. Now, on telling this at home, her mother-in-law and all the others avoid taking responsibility. Then Ranti says that they should sell this house. But Bayu interrupts here, saying that they will not sell the house, because he has to think about his wife and his child as well. Then his mother also says that they will have to wait for Bowo's opinion, which was almost impossible, because till now they weren't able to reach Bowo on phone, as he was at sea. And if they kept waiting for Bowo's opinion, maybe Nina would not survive. Ranti goes into her room and tries calling her husband, but the call doesn't connect. Meanwhile, Gita comes there, apologizes to her, and Gita was the only one who used to console her properly. And Ranti also liked Gita, but here, just consoling or explaining was not enough, because to save Nina's life, they badly needed money. Now, Ranti had no other way left, so she looks at that note, the one that lady had given her, and she goes to that address. There, that same lady performs the ritual that we saw in the beginning. Now, this ritual was to become the demon's bride. Now, becoming the demon's bride meant paying a very big price. And after that, the shaman makes Ranti lie down on the wedding bed and tells her that tonight her body and soul will belong to the demon, and every coming night and day will belong only to the demon. After this, that terrifying demon comes to Ranti, holds her from behind, and then got intimate with her. The shaman tells Ranti that to keep her daughter alive, she will have to make an offering to the demon every week, which will be the head and liver of a rooster, and this had to start from tonight itself. Now the scene changes, where we see Bayu who is searching for his rooster. This rooster he always used in fights, and it was his favorite rooster named Rocky, but since morning, he could not find it anywhere. Means Ranti offered it to the demon. Anyway, here Bayu's mother tells Bayu and Siddhi that today they should go to the hospital, meaning to meet Nina, but both of them refuse. Bayu and his wife were very selfish. They start making excuses. But at that moment, Ranti comes bringing her daughter Nina with her, who was now completely fine. Seeing this, everyone was shocked, because if surgery had happened, then how could she recover so quickly? The doctor had said that her chances of survival were very low. Now Siddhi already begins to doubt that maybe Ranti has done some black magic, because Nina was walking around as if nothing had ever happened. She even tells this to her husband Bayu. On this, Bayu says, well, it's good. At least they won't have to sell the house. Anyway, here Siddhi starts noticing that Ranti now spends most of her time inside her room. She closes all the windows and doors of her room and stays inside. Anyway, after that, Siddhi comes into the house, where she sees that Ranti had made everything dark. Along with that, she was watching TV, but nothing was playing on it. On this, Siddhi asks her why she is doing such strange things, but Ranti just starts laughing loudly and doesn't even reply to her question. After this, Siddhi goes inside, where someone knocks on the back door. When she opens it, she sees Ranti standing there, who had brought Nina along with her. Seeing this, Siddhi was completely shocked, and she couldn't understand what she had just seen. Anyway, at night, she talks about this with Geeta, asking if she has noticed something strange in Ranti. She says that nowadays she stays in the dark, and even bathes at night. On this, Geeta says that it's normal. Now, at night Siddhi was sleeping, when Bayu comes and tells her to make some food, she starts boiling water. But there a frog was there, meaning a frog jumped into her boiling water. She takes it out, and before she could recover from this, she hears some noise. That noise was coming from the bathroom. Siddhi goes straight there and sees that Ranti was bathing. So, from under the door she secretly makes a video, where Ranti was bathing like a madwoman, and she sends this video to everyone in the market, so that Ranti's mockery could be made. The next day, in the market, that video had reached everyone. It had gone viral, and Ranti also comes to know about it. So, she comes carrying a knife, and straight away grabs Siddhi's throat. Now Ranti says that it was Siddhi who made the video viral. And here Siddhi clearly says, yes, it was her. And Siddhi even starts insulting her, which Ranti doesn't like at all. Here, Siddhi says, will Ranti end her in front of everyone? Hearing this, Ranti leaves her. But after doing this, Ranti says that Siddhi has spoken too much, and for this she will surely get punished. At night, Siddhi comes to her bed where Bayu was. Bayu again tells her to make food. And Siddhi goes to cook food. Now there already noodles were boiling, which Ranti had kept. Now Ranti takes out a dead frog from those boiling noodles, and eats it right in front of Siddhi. Seeing this, Siddhi is shocked. What actually just happened? Now after a little while, Siddhi finally prepares noodles and brings them for Bayu. When she removes the blanket, instead of Bayu, she finds Ranti there, who strangles her neck and ends her, and along with that, the baby in her womb is also taken out. Because of this, both mother and child ended. Now, early in the morning, Bayu comes there. Actually, the one whom Siddhi had seen earlier was not Bayu at all, it was the demon. Here, Bayu doesn't come to know anything about what happened to Siddhi. Along with that, all the blood from the bedroom had also disappeared. He starts looking for Siddhi, but doesn't find her anywhere, and the reason for his being upset. Everyone thinks it must be because of his fight with Ranti in the market. Now, the scene shifts to night, where Geeta comes outside. Nearby, she sees a plant, where there was a pit, and this plant was the same one where Ranti used to make rooster offerings. Now she ignores this and starts to leave. But, just then she begins to hear a voice calling for help, and it was Siddhi's voice. Seeing this, Geeta also turned on the camera of her phone, and she pointed the camera towards that plant, after which the voice started coming even louder, and this time it was the sound of crying. Then, on the other side, we see Nina, whose toy had gone into the bathroom. To get that toy, Nina goes inside the bathroom. But then from inside the bathtub, Ranti comes out. Seeing this, Nina screamed in fear, and hearing Nina's voice, Geeta went inside, and then we see Siddhi's spirit, who was in pain. Anyway, when Geeta goes to Nina, she finds Nina crying because she was scared. She tells Geeta that tonight she will sleep with them. Now the next day, when Ranti went to give the rooster offering, then she finds in that plant's pit a buried corpse, and that was of Siddhi. Seeing this, she immediately went to the shaman, that is, the one who had performed the ritual. There she tells everything to the shaman. on which the shaman says that the day they had performed the ritual, from that same day the demon accepted her as his wife. And it is the duty of a husband to defend his wife. And that is exactly what this demon was doing. Now the scene comes to Bayu, who was at the rooster fights. Then he sees City's spirit, seeing which he begins to follow her because he felt like she was City. Following her, he came outside where there was no one, but we see City's spirit behind him. Just then, his friend comes and tells him that his rooster has lost, meaning he lost the money. After this, the scene changes, and we see Bayu at home, where he was digging a pit, and then, from the ground a hand comes out, and this hand was City's. Now, seeing City's hand, he recognized that this was his wife. After this, crying and in anger, he asks Nina about Ranti. Just then, hearing the shouting voice, Ranti comes there, and he bursts out on Rani, saying why did she kill his wife. Now, he brings out his wife's corpse and takes it to his room. Seeing this, Ranti also starts crying. Then Gita comes in between, calms Bayu down, and takes Ranti away from there. Anyway, now Bayu's mother comes and starts saying that he should bury her again, because no one should know about this, and this was a very bad thing. Now ahead, we see Bayu burying his wife City outside again, and he was very sad. Just then Ranti comes there and goes inside the rooster shed. Seeing this, Bayu starts following her, and he also goes inside the shed to search for her. But then, from behind, Ranti attacks Bayu and pierces one of Bayu's eyes. Now, with only one eye left, Bayu was searching for Ranti, but Ranti throws him here and there. Now she throws him inside a rooster's cage, after which his remaining eye is eaten by a rooster. Bayu became blind. Now he somehow starts coming out like that and collides with the wall and falls. And then, from above, the broken part of the shed falls straight onto his neck, due to which his neck is cut off, and he dies on the spot. Hearing his voice, Gita comes there. But before the corpse, she had seen Ranti there, after which obviously all the suspicion went towards Ranti. After this, Ranti, scared, goes into the house and locks herself in the room. Gita starts asking her how Bayu died, but Ranti does not give any answer. She herself did not know how this had happened. Now Gita keeps asking her again and again, on which Ranti just says that among all the family members, she likes Gita the most. So please stay quiet, otherwise, something may happen. Hearing this, Gita stops. The next day Gita also buries Bayu's corpse. Now here, Gita was very worried. She starts telling her mother that they should call Mr. Haji, who knows a little about these things. But her mother says that they will see later. Anyway, just then Nina sees her mother Ranti acting like a mad person, and she feels very bad. Seeing all this, finally Gita's mother agrees to call Mr. Haji. Now the next day, Mr. Haji comes there. Mr. Haji checks Ranti. Haji asks for a glass of water and starts reciting some mantras over it, but then the glass bursts on its own, which was done by the demon. But here, Haji tells Ranti to pray. Along with that, he also tells her mother-in-law and Gita to do prayers, and he says that this is the only solution. Everything else is fine. After this, the scene changes, and we see Bo-O, who had finally come home. Now Bo-O gets to know all the things, but he was not ready to believe that the cause of all these deaths was his wife Ranti. Anyway, now Bo-O goes to talk to his wife. But his wife says that she doesn't want to talk to him, and she closes the door. Now the scene comes at night, where Bo-O was sleeping on the sofa. Just then, intimate sounds were coming from Rani's room. Bo-O quietly goes to check in her room, and he notices that his wife was being intimate with a demon. Now the next day, when Nina goes to give food to Ranti, we see that Ranti had now been tied tightly, so that she could not harm anyone. She was looking very scary. Now she tells her daughter to unlock her, but just then her mother-in-law comes and calls Nina to her side. Gita and Bo-O had gone to the hospital, where Gita saw that lady talking to Ranti. Gita suspected that after meeting that lady only, all this incident had happened, but she did not find her anywhere. Now on the other side, Nina starts hearing her mother's voice, who was humming her favorite song. Now Nina goes to her mother. Now the demon starts asking her to bring something, to get which Nina goes away. But when she returns, then her mother was not there. At that time she hears her grandma's voice, and when she goes near, by then, she too was finished. That means the demon had finished her. And just then, Gita and Bo-O come home, where both of them, seeing their mother in this condition, start crying. But then Gita starts searching for Nina. At that time, Ranti comes in front of her and starts moving towards her. Then Gita breaks a plate on her head, because of which a piece goes inside her head. But Rani easily removes it. After this, she starts throwing Gita around, and then bangs her head repeatedly and makes her unconscious. But she did not kill her because Ranti used to like Gita the most. But then Gita again stands up and stabs a big scissor inside Ranti. But even with that, Ranti feels nothing. On the contrary, she hits her and again makes her unconscious. After this, she goes to Bo-O, where she attacks Bo-O and starts stabbing him with that scissor. Just then, Bo-O tells her to recognize him, On this, the demon inside her starts saying that now she is not his wife. Rather, she is the demon's wife, and the demon twists Bowo's neck 360 degrees and ends him. Ranti then catches Nina, but then Gita comes from behind and attacks Ranti. Here Ranti catches Gita, and was about to kill her when Nina starts saying that she is not her mother, and she hates her. And if she was good, then she would not do this. Then Nina says that everything happened because of her mother only, and to give back her legs, her mother did all this. So now she will herself cut her legs. And she was just about to cut them, when we see Ranti, who is roaming somewhere inside her own body, heard her daughter's voice. After this, finally Ranti comes back to her senses, and takes control of her body. Now as soon as Ranti properly comes to her senses, seeing all this scene, she cries a lot, that she had killed her whole family. Now Ranti tells Gita that she should take Nina far away from her, but Gita was not ready for this. Then Ranti makes her swear. After this, Gita finally starts taking Nina away, and here Ranti pours fuel on herself and burns herself. After this, Gita and Nina go away from there. But this movie does not end here, because we also see an end credit scene, where Nina and Gita were living somewhere. And just then suddenly a sound starts coming from inside the cupboard. It was shaking on its own. Gita opens it, and sees inside that same bridal dress, the one which Ranti used to wear in front of the demon. With this, the movie finally ends here. So viewers, this was the story of Pengantin Iblis. That is, Demon's Bride movie. I hope you liked this explanation. If you liked it, then like the video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe, and I will meet you all in the next video. See you soon.